Hello, welcome. Nice to meet you again on this park bench. So, right from the very beginning, would you take a breath and sit back, enjoy yourself, be here? I am excited to be here because the possibilities and the opportunities that are starting to present themselves are really significant. And I'm going to ask you a couple of questions as we move through this session. Can you be in joy? Can you be in joy? Can you be in ease? Can you relax? Can you be comfortable? Now, in a way, that's not an analytical question. Oh, yes, I can do that. It's really a feeling question. It's an awareness. And the interesting part about bringing your attention to these questions as an awareness, they begin to be a creative framework for you to begin to see what's possible. Now, in that 3D space that we've all grown up and played in, we kind of rush through attention points, rush through opportunities, rush through from here to there, moving fast. And we miss an awful lot of the choices that we have to begin to play, create a different opportunity. So take a breath if you would, kind of sit back and let's see where we can go with this in this session. Because the awareness of who you are is beginning to present itself in ways that haven't been seen, most likely in that 3D game that we've been playing. As these new levels of light come into this game, shining more light into the corners, kind of dissolving the shadows. Esther Hicks says you walk into a room, you don't turn on the dark switch, you turn on the light switch. And the darkness seems to disappear instantaneously. So in this session, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you to, right here, kind of just really sit back, take a breath, and maybe close your eyes. And I'm going to change this screen from looking at me, because I'm a distraction if you're looking at me. The eyes are very distracting. We think the eyes provide us with all kinds of information. in terms of how to navigate, what to do, what's in front of us, how to step aside. But to a great extent, the reliance on the eyes creates a distortion in the reality that you really have available to you. So right here, rather than looking at me, because much of what might be said that might have value will be missed if the attention point is on this screen. So we're going to just change the screen. I'm going to move away from this visual awareness. But if you just close your eyes and bring yourself into a place of being comfortable. You see, now the question, different than just a moment ago, is answered differently. Is, can you be comfortable? Can you be in joy? Can you relax? But without depending on the eyes to give you the information of the experience you're in. The ability to bring your attention to that feeling. Kind of just another breath. And would you allow yourself to be comfortable? Now, it really is just an in-breath and an out-breath. And it's the exhale where everything that has been held in that attention of the world that I'm observing with my eyes simply begins to be relaxed, let go of, and the body exhales, sinks into the chair. Now kind of just notice this question without doing anything necessarily. Can you be in joy? Now, one of the things that I found for a really long time is I could never answer that question because I didn't know what joy was. Oh, I knew what happy was. I knew what smile was. I knew what pleased with myself was in various ways. But that sense of joy, you see, joy is a state of being. It's really magnetic. It begins to draw to you possibilities, opportunities, situations that you haven't imagined. Imagine, that's another one of those constructs, imagination. You see, in the third dimensional game that we've been playing, imagination was kind of off the table. Because if I, as a mom, dad, teacher, minister, leader, wanted you to be under my control, do what I said, do the right thing. I love you. I want you safe and happy and in my image. I want you to be this person. But all of that imagination gets in the way. You can't follow the rules when all of a sudden you imagine new rules. You imagine new choices, new possibilities, new opportunities. And you imagine you have the freedom to go find out how they work. So third dimension, very restrictive in that manner on that third dimensional game board. A lot of rules, control, domination, position, power over, duality, conditionality, linear time. See, those are all the constructs of that third dimensional game that we came into play, intentionally came to play. And you've been very successful at this game. But again, we're not really interested in the third dimensional game. We're interested in this fifth dimensional game. We're interested in the possibilities, the opportunity. We're interested in the permission to allow our imagination to turn back on, a permission to imagine. Now, just another breath. Now, is your mind kind of moving towards that attention point, imagination? When was the last time you imagined? When was the last time, like we spoke about last week, saw the dragon in the clouds? When was the last time you sat back on this park bench and just took a breath and had no agenda, had no reason except simply to imagine, be curious, think about possibilities? Can you enjoy yourself? Can you give to yourself? Now, just another breath and kind of play with me here, because we're really all playmates. We've been playing at this game many, many lifetimes. Not only this game here, but in other lifetimes. That's another story. You see, we came here to do this. We didn't accidentally show up here in this terrible place. This is an imagined creation. This physical earth, this experience we're having. But those that kind of have said, this is how it works, and we've given up seniority, that's one of those other magical words, seniority. I'm going to allow your opinion to drive my direction. Now, we're not looking for bad or good. We're just simply sitting here on this park bench, beginning to notice. Notice. I'm going to notice all of what was just said. I'm going to allow that aspect of my life to be what was just pointed out. And I'm simply going to take another breath, find that space of comfortable, allow that to be over there, and be right here. Can I have joy? Joy. Just very simple. Nothing engaged. I'm smiling. Can I find that smile? Can I find that sense of, I like me right here on this park bench? Now, many of you have been coming to this park bench for a long time. This begins to be an anchor point of how to step back, pause, sit down, observe, and imagine, create, find a new possibility. Allow, there's that word again, allow everything to come to me that I would like to come to me. Now, the last time we spoke here on the park bench, we talked about the story, and we asked the question, what if there was more to the story? Now, let me ask you, did you explore that question over this last period of time since the question was asked till right now? It was just a moment, a second, an instant of time. But did you explore that question? What if there was more? Now, it's really a pretty exciting question if you allow it, particularly from a park bench. But if you ask the question completely wrapped up in your third dimensional experience, it could be very terrifying. Answer. What if there's more and I am simply bought the farm and this is how I live my life and I can't get out of this? Which chair do you want to sit in? Third dimension, fifth dimension, third dimension, fifth dimension. Kind of we began to really point out that third dimensional space. It had a lot of chapters in that book, third dimensional book, a lot of chapters. a lot of events, a lot of ups and downs and movements around. And when we were in those chapters, there was nothing else but that chapter, that moment, that experience. That's how it was. Could you have joy? Not in that moment. Take another breath, because what's possible right here, we're just playing with no effort at all. That chapter, as we recognize it, what if there was more to the story? What if that chapter was just simply a stepping stone to get here, and I'm not living in that chapter anymore? I'm going to turn the page. I'm going to allow that chapter just to be closed. Now, there's no work to that. It's just, I don't need that chapter anymore. Does it support you right here? No, not really. I'm going to close the chapter. And then if you begin to look, there were a lot of chapters. Do all those chapters have anything to do with you right here, sitting on this park bench, beginning to answer the question, can I be in joy? Well, it's kind of challenging if I keep referring back to those chapters, referring back to that book. And so we created a means of simply basically stepping out of the book. Third dimension, fifth dimension. Kind of moving yourself right to the doorway, taking a breath, and realizing I have a similar choice right here. I've always had choice, but right here, third dimension, fifth dimension. Joy, happy, abundance, beauty, well-being, co-creation, cooperation, in smile, laughter. Third dimension, fifth dimension, third dimension. But we created an attention point in and around that third dimensional but. Oh, I want to be over there, but. Oh, I'm working on it, but. Right here, I'm on the park bench. I'm in this multi-dimensional space. I'm in joy. Can I be in joy is the question. Right here, there's no but. It's simply a feeling. It's a smile. And what happens when you begin to allow the smile, you begin to bring the attention to the smile, you're right in the center of the heart. And the heart thinks very differently than the rational mind thinks, the third dimensional driver, in a manner of speaking. But right here, there's a smile. There's more to the story. And if you can allow the question, is there more to the story, more to my story, and you can move over here into a different reference point, smile, I like me, happy, pleased with myself, for no good reason, just to be there because you enjoy the smile, being comfortable, relaxed. Another breath. I'm going to be here in the smile. You see, this is the change of the architecture in the new realm. Well, there's a lot going on in this new realm. There's been a lot going on for some time in this new realm, but we don't hear about an awful lot of it. But right here in this new realm, sitting on this park bench, relaxed, comfortable, and recognizing there's more to the story. Now, would you just bring your attention here to that word imagination? Imagination. Do you remember when you imagined? And would you kind of remember the feeling of laying on your back, looking at the dragons and the butterflies and that interesting form over there in that cloud? That's really interesting. And it was a blue sky with clouds moving in and out. You see, as we bring your attention to that point, you're there, sitting in your chair and looking at the clouds. Imagine. See, this is what imagination is. You don't go out of the body over to some new place. You just sit right here and have the experience. Now, another breath. that smile. Tremendous permission in this smile. But right here in the smile, a very simple action begins to set motion into a new direction. That smile, that simple change in the architecture. What was no longer is, and now I'm beginning to build a new architecture, a new construct, a new personality, a new awareness of that signature that I am. You see, there's a very specific flow of light, unique in all that is, and it's a signature. It's simply how you are known in all that is. The signature's unique expression of light and love. And that smile begins to bring an awareness, and the smile begins to allow an awareness of the architecture of the signature. The funny thing is, it's so simple, and yet can you be in joy? Comfortable, relaxed, pleased with myself, and can you just bring your attention to that smile? And that smile allows imagination. Now, imagination is really very, very available on the planet. There are people who are imagining things that are just extraordinary. You're about to see a lot of them. You've been seeing a lot of them. And in the nature of the game we're playing, technology is a big expression of thoughts turning into physical experiences. Oh, and there's some amazing expressions. There's some amazing people. See, they have sat on this park bench before, and they imagined, and they got excited, and they basically played in that imagination where all of a sudden, as they sat and began to ponder, they had this construct of, just, And then they said, that's interesting. And then that turned into a thought. And that thought turned into an idea. And that idea turned into a concept. And the concept turned into a feeling, a passion, an excitement, an opportunity. And it began to take hold in such a way that there was a significant explosion, if you would. It's like, whoa, I got it. You know that place? You do. You've been there multiple times. I got it. And then that excitement began to be emotion. And the emotion began to have a focus. And the focus had an awareness and a passion. And there was no time for 3D. And there's extraordinary things being done. Now, you don't hear about all these extraordinary things. You're about to. There's a car manufacturing company in Germany called BMW. BMW, somebody had an idea of, we want a new car, a different car, something completely different. And yet, they basically said into these large language models, into this new technology, what would an unimagined car look like if it was imagined? And out of the computer came an unimagined car. And then they said, well, how do you build this unimagined car? What would the plant look like to build this unimagined car? And the technology imagined an entire manufacturing process to build an unimagined car into physicalness. It's happening right now. You see, that's you sitting on the park bench, allowing an unimagined creation of a new realm of consciousness coming into being. Now, let's put it into clearer terms. You're not new to this. You are not a lightweight. If you're sitting here listening to this conversation, you've done this over and over and over. You're a master at doing what we're talking about, taking an unimagined thought and bringing it into a creation. You see, no matter what you think, you are big, you are significant, you are important, and you are here at this time to create a new realm of consciousness. Now, can you allow that? What an absurd, imagined statement that is. Yes, it is, isn't it? Absurd and amazing, imagined statement. I am big, significant, important. I'm here to create a new realm. I'm here to amplify that light signature with the excitement that I am. That's you. That's who you are. That's why you're here. That's why you're sitting right here. But this imagined new technology, I mean, somebody said, this is crazy how we build houses. And they basically took something called 3D printing, played with it in such a construction that they can make an 1,000 square foot house in 3 days using one machine to build it. They can create multiple different choices, and all you have to say, it's almost as simple. I want the blue one and not the red one. I want the one with the 3 bedrooms, not the 2 bedrooms. No problem. Push a button. 3 days later. Now, in 3D, that's not possible because we have these limitations of how it is supposed to be. They told me this is how it's supposed to be. And I guess that's how it's supposed to be, 3D. But what we're telling you right here is somebody said, what if we did this? In fact, some of them went right down to the atom, to the molecule, to the atom, to the electron, and basically said, what if we could just simply imagine into the electron and watch the electron create an atom, and then the atom create a molecule? And what if we could keep it at that level of creation? And what if there were other proteins that could be created at this nanotechnology level? And out of that question came 2,000 new proteins that had never been seen before, the building blocks of everything. Something called graphene, a carbon-based material, multiple times stronger than steel, multiple times lighter than steel, with great flexibility. And space, that thing up there, that's a big deal. There is so much going on in space. You're about to have the benefits of all of that. So somebody sat down and imagined something more. Now take another breath if you would. Would you like to experience? Would you like to create something more? Would you like to create a new realm of consciousness, one where there is beauty and well-being and excitement, respect, dignity, kindness, laughter? You see, the way the light is shaping right now, the opportunity to simply think it into existence is right here. Now, you give attention to 3D, but we're closing that book. And what you're starting to know is you begin to bring attention into all of this excitement possibility where we're starting to structure. That 3D reality really is nothing more than an idea that was given a lot of attention, it's played itself out, and it no longer is required of my attention. I've been there. I no longer have to pay attention to those chapters. They don't support me. The book doesn't support me. In fact, the book is just a little dot in the middle of this multi-dimensional realm of light that I can allow to be a dot for anybody who else wants to choose to play there. And the book is shrinking quite a bit. But I choose to simply play here in joy, ease, relaxed excitement. Now, another breath with those words. Are you imagining them, feeling them? You see, when you give attention to an intention, you create motion. Let me say it again. When you give attention to your intention, you create motion, you create movement, you create possibilities. When you give attention to intention that holds joy, excitement, beauty, well-being, the smile, love, it expands in excitement. That intention becomes animated into excitement. But when you give attention to that 3D space, you deny love, and love gets pushed to the side, and that electromagnetic field starts to wither, close down, becomes really uncomfortable without love. Love being kind of the, let's assume for the moment, the foundation of everything, the excitement of everything. Another breath. Now, really, take another breath right here. Sit back. Relax. You see, because as you give attention to joy right here, as you begin to be in joy right here, everything lesser, the shadows, the chapters, the book, starts to fall away. It no longer has the attention and the electromagnetic grab that says, doubt. I'm unsure. I'm not certain. But see right here, it's explosive, exciting expansion of opportunity. Can the opportunity not unfold? Yes, it can. But right when you get to that point of following the excitement and being excited, and all of a sudden it's like, oops, it didn't work. That's not a failure. That's just the moment that you step back and go, I must have missed a part. And just by saying, what did I miss? The answer arrives where the question is asked. It's so simple. But simple is not necessarily easy when you're still dragging. I'm not sure. I may be wrong. I might not do it right. Duality, right, wrong. But here, see, right where you're sitting with, that's not here. I am in joy. I'm relaxed. I'm comfortable. I'm observing the possibilities, the opportunities, the choices right here. Now, if again you just notice that smile, kind of be in the smile. Now, there's a magic way to know how the smile's working. The sides of your mouth kind of raise up a little bit more. A little bit more. Now, the key message there was a little bit more. You got that? There, yes, that's smile. This is cool. I like me. You see, in that instant, there is no 3D. You simply allowed what was just there a second ago in a doubt to completely dissolve and go away. Interesting. Now, let's just consider this being why we're sitting on the park bench. The park bench. Now, it actually gets even more interesting when you do it with all your playmates. And you all kind of begin to get into the same attention point. So, right here, without any motion, would you recognize your crown chakra is set at sky blue? Now, see, as soon as you begin to bring attention to an intention, the intention magnifies and accomplishes what you wish. So, this is a simple one. You just intend sky blue, and it's there. Do you have to think about it, figure out? No. Would you just intend your crown is a sky blue, and there are 4, 5, 6, 10,000 others, oh, actually a whole lot more, that just all went into agreement that we're all going to look in the same direction, and we're all going to kind of play at what would a new realm of consciousness look like if we could create something completely different than the book, the chapters, and the paragraphs that were in the chapter. What would that look like? What would it feel like is even a better question, because see, the feeling gives you far more expression of opportunity than looking. So as soon as I start to use my eyes, I create a limitation of possibility. Oh, the eyes are wonderful. But if you're not kind of in this space of aligned certainty, seniority, I like me, permission, I'm excited about creating, the limitations of the eyes limit the possibilities. But right here, see, your eyes are closed. You're in that space of excitement. There's a smile, and the motion, the energy is beginning to coalesce, step up, and the energy is producing that smile. Now, if that's not the case, you're working hard at holding attention in a chapter somewhere in that book. But right here, we're just came to play. And in the play, you start to create a density, a texture. The thought now is much more of an idea, and it's beginning to be a concept, a new realm of consciousness, something different than what we have experienced without throwing rocks at what we experience. I'm ready to play a new game. And I have a lot of playmates. And the more all the playmates gather, it begins to be this huge electromagnetic field of possibility. And that electromagnetic field creates a level of light that begins to be seen in the dark rooms. And the light switch turns on for millions and millions and millions of people who are right on the edge of believing there is more. And right here on the park bench, we all are imagining more well-being, joy, co-creation, respect, dignity, opportunity. You see, and pieces are all coming together, those technologies I just mentioned. What if the price of energy, money, is one of those 3D things that's really a drag? It's a control structure. It's a power over structure. What if these technologies began to be so available to provide goods, services, opportunities that the cost of creating them went to zero. Went to zero. You basically say, I'd like an apple, and somebody hands you an apple because there's an abundance of apples. And you're so excited about creating your idea into concept, into structure, that you all of a sudden realize it's easy to make 1,000,000 of them as it is to make one. And then they come and say, I would like one. And you say, no problem, I have 1,000,000. And they're all happy. And what if the cost of energy came to zero? Energy. What if we tapped into the atmosphere and recognized what Tesla knew, and all of a sudden you created the pole stars that you used to have in Atlantis? That's just simply a little ball on top of a pole, on top of your house or your car, and infinite electricity. Would that be a game changer? Oh yeah, it was in Atlantis. You all know about that, but see, you can't access that when you're in the chapter in the book. But over here on the park bench, the excitement and the imagination simply draws to you the answer to the question. What else did I do in Atlantis? Oh, don't be so limiting. What did I do in Lemuria? Not too limiting. What did I do in the other civilizations on this planet and others? Oh, now we're beginning to ask the right questions. But you can't even ask those questions from the chapters in the book. But here, that smile, is it getting any bigger? Are you starting to see the possibilities? Now you're just kind of, it's like we're still at the stage of, you mean there was more? Oh yeah. We're even going to speculate that within your lifetime, you're going to begin to know what more means. Oh, maybe not lifetime, maybe even the next few years. You see, we're on the park bench basically removing the darkness that the clouds, the shadows, that were put there to prevent imagination. Can you imagine a possibility? Can you simply find an excitement in possibility? No particular possibility, a particular possibility, doesn't matter. But right here, there is an excitement beginning to be nurtured in the heart. An excitement. It goes along with that smile. It goes along with permission, allowing, and beginning to bring your attention to the intention of freedom, joy, excitement, possibility, unlimited opportunities in a new realm. And it's so fluid that nobody trips over anybody else. It all begins to be this level of abundance. And abundance even begins to take a change in definition because everything is available at any time you wish to bring your attention to it. Now just kind of imagine that. Don't think that. Just kind of find that fascinating. You mean I can say apple and the apple appears? Yeah. Now, if you can allow that to be a possibility, so did the other 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 of you sitting on the park bench. A possibility. I think apple appears. Nothing in between the thought and the creation. Nothing in between the thought and the creation. And all of a sudden, the turns into the thought, an idea, a concept, into a feeling, into a yes, into a passion, and the apple appears in your hand. Do you have to know how it all appeared? Do you have to know what the electron did to change the atom, to make the molecule, to make the apple? No. That's even more fascinating. We'll get to that another day. Now, comfortable. We just, another breath, sit back, and would you be comfortable? Relaxed. There's a slight difference between comfortable and relaxed. I like me. Well, that's an excitement. See, that statement has excitement to it because the minute we go into I like me, we go into this signature, that enormous field of light that it has your name on it. Once you go into I like me, I'm pleased with me, I'm happy, you start to simply do something that is misunderstood often, and that is I am liking me. I am liking me. How many times do you start a sentence with I am angry, I am frustrated, I am this, I am that? Every one of those statements is part of that light stream of energy of your signature. And how you set it in motion from I am basically amplifies the remainder of the statement. Oh, it's so simple. You mean if I just say I am and I pay attention to what follows right here where we're in the smile, what follows simply becomes the result. Yeah, that's what we're saying. So once I get into present time, quiet, I'm observing, and I'm paying attention to what I am putting into words, into feelings, creates. And when I say it from I am, when I say it from the signature, it begins to highlight, it begins to amplify, it begins to become a brilliant flash of light, recognizing I am, and then result. So simple. Except, see, you don't have permission to do that in 3D. Because how can I control you, dominate you? How can I direct you? How can I take advantage of you? How can I make all this money from you if you're over there I-aming and the Apple appears and your rent check appears and everything appears? So don't imagine that. I mean, that would be a stupid idea in 3D. But see, here, you're not in 3D. Here, there's a smile. See, in that smile, that alignment with that flame in the heart, where the creator and you are one, and from that standpoint, you just simply say, this is what I want. I am going to create this apple. Boom, apple. Now, the really, really interesting part of this, and this is where we are, we're right on the cusp of this next level of light coming in. You're going to see it relatively soon, but this next level that's coming in basically moves closer to that apple. It just simply is permission to imagine. And it begins to be lighter and even more fluid, these levels that are now beginning to present, to where you start to believe. Believe. There's that interesting word, believe. You see, if you think it is, you believe it is, or you think or believe it is not, you're correct. So this is that space where Tinkerbell was so clear to Peter Pan. You have to believe. Now, we kind of suggest you start small. Believe you can have a good day when you wake up. Believe that you can go have a nice meal. Believe that your walk is going to be very pleasant. Simply what you bring your attention to. I intend to go for a lovely walk and enjoy myself, and I bring my attention to the walk all the way through the walk. All I can do is see flowers and blue skies and dragons in the clouds. I believe I can create a new realm of consciousness. And I have a lot of playmates to play with this. And what gets very exciting, they all imagine a very unique nuance to what is this new realm of consciousness. In a lot of ways, you can just sit back and enjoy the creative movie and be fascinated with all the things that are coming about. What do you mean a house can be built and lived in within a week? Yeah, built, and they can move in. Unbelievable. Okay, unbelievable. It'll slow it down to a little longer. But when it's like, whoa, this is amazing, it speeds it up. Now, another smile. Because we're creating a whole level of opening up this realm of possibility and opening up imagination. Some of you are going on tilt. That's okay. Tilt. It's like, whoa, I don't know what to do with all this. Yes, that's correct. In the moment, it's kind of too much. But see, these are imprints. These are awarenesses within the light signature. So take another breath. You mean I can have all of this? Yes. And in pretty real terms, all I have to do is step aside, sit down on this park bench like myself, bring my attention into quiet, present, aware, comfortable, curious, and give myself permission to allow myself to imagine, to create, to have. Now, look around right here also, because you see, what you're seeing as you kind of look out into this 4, 5, 6, 8, 10,000 people sitting here on their park bench with you, is they're your friends. They're your playmates. They're the ones you know intimately and have an agreement with. We're going to come here and play. And we're going to do it in the most unique of ways. We're going to make this selfishly 100% for each of us as we remember and create. And what we remember and create will be 100% in service to all of the others. It's the weaving of the process. And as this level of light begins to be woven, the architecture is being created. And the beauty of the architecture begins to allow for the beauty of the landscape and the smile of the environment and the atmosphere of joy. And that smile feels good. I like me. I am comfortable with me. I am okay. And just in that recognition, I like me, I am okay, that light switch goes on, and all the chapters of the book and the books all get pushed into that single little dot that could be chosen, but is actually beginning to fall away. It's beginning to lose your attention. We're not destroying it. We're not healing anything. We're not fixing anything. Nothing's broken. It's simply this little book that's now a little dot that's over there surrounded by light that could be chosen. But I'm beginning to really understand I do not have to choose that to sit on this park bench and imagine I am a wonderful being creating. And I'm beginning to be aware that I am not only the creator, I am the experience that's being created. That's cool. Oh, wait, say that again. You say, okay, so I am the creator being of this imagined set of thoughts and feelings, intentions, attentions. And I'm doing it from this sacred heart. I'm doing it from this smile. I'm doing it from this aligned flame of light that's animating the electrons, constructing the atoms, altering the molecules, and creating an experience. Wow, that's pretty cool. And as I give more attention to this space, I start to find that all around the edges, things just are working. So many of you say that over and over. I'm just amazed. Everything's working. Things are coming to me. I didn't even think I asked them for them, and boom, there they are. Oh yeah, I remember thinking that thought a couple weeks ago. Would you just sit back a little bit more? And with no thoughts, would you be pleased with yourself? For no reason, just a choice. I am pleased with myself. I like me. And that first question, can I be in joy? What's the answer now? In joy. This smile, pleased with myself, I like me. Aspects of joy. Aspects of love. Aspects of the smile. And there's a beauty that begins to unfold all around us. You see, because we'll talk about it another time, that electromagnetic field of love amplifies in beauty. And there begins to be an orderliness to everything, not as in control, but as in unlimited possibility to begin to move pieces around to create. total awareness of what's possible. I like me. There's more to the story than I was told. And I'm starting to begin to both see and know the story that I came here to create. And it's from finding this very specific little place, however you wish to define it, park bench, a place of just simply stepping back, sitting down, getting comfortable, relaxing, being pleased with myself, quiet, aware, and asking what's possible. And allowing the answer to present. And between now and the time we meet again, we would like to suggest you explore this answer. There's more to the story. And that smile is the barometer that simply begins to take you there. So allow us to step back here and admire the creation that you're in the process of creating. And we'll play again in a little while. But right here, enjoy the creation of your story. Blessings.